Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. A sad chapter tonight in the history of Elliott Lake closes before the courts.
It was very sad, but it's also, rallied our community.
A multi-million-dollar class action lawsuit is settled in the Algo Mall collapse. Plus, health officials are seeing more overdoses as of late.
We do have to rally the team around them.
North Bay Perry Sound alone has seen 3 die in the last week. And a sad and rare case of animal cruelty in downtown Sudbury.
It was totally oiled from head to toe. It couldn't open its eyes.
Animal welfare officials have found 3 pigeons covered in used cooking oil.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Tonight has been a history-making night, as no doubt many of you are already aware. The crew of Artemis has returned home to the planet, and it is safe and sound after a groundbreaking trip around the moon. This was the scene earlier this evening as 4 astronauts, among them Canadian Jeremy Hansen, were retrieved off the coast of San Diego, California. A soggy end to their 40,000-kilometer journey. They've traveled deeper than anyone into space. Hansen, now the first Canadian or non-American, also to visit the moon. All eyes across the world watching this.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Next step will be to debrief all the astronauts. They'll have medical exams and a lot of science to go through. History made and the new era of space exploration begins. Closer to home, a multi-million-dollar class action lawsuit involving the collapse of Elliott Lake's Algo Mall was settled in court today. CTV's Madison Merrier reports.
It's been almost 14 years since the collapse of the Algo Center Mall that took the lives of 2 people and injured over 20 others.
The emotional part of it, I can't put into terms. It was very sad, but it's also, rallied our community.
Now there may finally be some sense of closure as the judge presiding over the case agreed to the $10 million settlement and fees.
It was a fair and reasonable outcome that I think is in the best interest of the class members. I mean, certain people may not think it's perfect in the end, but in terms of a reasonable amount of money and an efficient system, I think we've achieved that. 2
separate cases were previously resolved for the 2 individuals who passed away. Now the matter for the 200 to 300 people who filed emotional, physical, and economic claims is nearing its end.
The judge say that he will render a decision likely next week and that we can finalize what lawyers would call the court order from that. We have to wait a period of time, 30 days. For a potential appeal.
O'Connor says they will appoint an adjudicator to disperse the compensation to those impacted, which he hopes will be completed by this fall.
It still took way too long without people really know what was going on. And I think at the end of it, some people may think, well, okay, maybe it did take too long, but at least we got somewhere. So I hope people walk away thinking maybe it was delayed, but we're going to get some compensation out of this in a very tragic circumstance.
O'Connor says the case was settled to avoid further delays a trial would cause and could result in a smaller damage award. Once the judge finalizes his decision, the 8 defendants will be dismissed of all claims against them. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's been almost a year since an impaired driving crash in Sault Ste. Marie claimed the life of 15-year-old Connor Dunn. Today, the man behind the wheel was in court. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
On April 20th of last year, 2 15-year-olds riding an e-bike down Gooley Avenue in Sault Ste. Marie were hit by a truck. The crash resulted in the death of the bike's driver, Connor Dunn, and non-life-threatening injuries to the other youth. Today, Gregory Parise, the young man driving that truck, pleaded guilty to 2 impaired driving-related charges. Justice Sandra Caponecchia accepted Paris's guilty pleas on both impaired driving causing death and impaired driving causing bodily harm. Heard in court today, the then 18-year-old stated on scene that he drank 9 beers before getting behind the wheel that night. The crash happened at roughly 1 a.m. and at 3 a.m. police recorded that Parise had 145 milliliters of alcohol per 100 milliliters of blood in his system. The driver held a G1 license, not permitting him to be on the road at that time of night or have any alcohol in his system while operating a motor vehicle. This case will return to the Sault courthouse on August 13th when the defense and Crown each give sentencing submissions. The two sides are reportedly far apart on the matter, and it's unlikely a judge's decision will be rendered on that day. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
One person has died after a crash last night on a major stretch of Highway 69. Provincial police had closed a section of the road between Shawanaga and Highway 559 in Nobel. OPP say just after 7 p.m. a passenger vehicle and a transport truck collided, killing the person. The highway reopened just before noon today. The Northeastern Public Health Unit has issued a red drug alert for communities within its catchment area. It's similar to warnings other local Northern Health units issued this month. The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit says 3 people died from opioid-related overdoses in 1 week. An emergency room physician at the North Bay Regional Health Center says the department is feeling the trickle-down effect from the overdose crisis, which is leading to longer wait times.
We do have to rally the team around them, so it does take nurses and staff away from other patients for sure. They obviously need to be here because they're very unwell.
In the Nipissing District, 13 opioid-related overdoses were reported between March 30th and April 4th. 5 of the 9 survivors received at least 1 dose of naloxone. Health professionals advise users to check their drugs with a testing strip, have naloxone on hand, and use in a safe space. Striking Alouette bus drivers in the North Bay area rejected an offer from the bus company today. Around 80 bus drivers have been off the job since February 23rd. The main issue, wages. Alouette drivers currently earn over $18 an hour. The union representing picketing drivers says the 3-year offer from Alouette Bus Lines, which was rejected today, didn't go far enough.
The original offer that the employer gave us for the start, like for the first year, was the $20, and they did move that up. And we did see the $21.10 in there that we have been pushing for. That would kick in year 2 of the contract, though. But year 3 fell far short of what we were looking for in increases.
The Steelworkers Union is also blasting Nipissing Parry Sound Transportation Services for trying to collect money to pay families impacted by the strike. CTV News has reached out to Alouette Bus Lines for a response. Well, Sudbury, like many communities and cities right now, is looking to make itself more appealing to the defense industry. That's if a motion from a city councillor passes Tuesday night. The motion should come as little surprise. Canada is looking to increase its defense spending exponentially. It's put a Buy Canadian policy in place, and it's looking like Sudbury wants a piece of that pie.
Being, a former underground miner, a true northerner, I thought, why can't mining manufacturing companies maybe take a space here?
It's a question that Pat Alt once answered. In his motion to council on Tuesday night, he's asking his colleagues to pass a motion that would see the city declare its strong support for pursuing opportunities in defense, military equipment, and vehicle manufacturing sectors. With a strong background in critical minerals, Pat Alt says the move to further diversify makes sense.
Diversification is important for a city, not just because we're trying to grow the city, but because mining is cyclical. Mining is up, mining will come down. It always has. And what we'd like to see is if we get into manufacturing outside of just mining, we may be able to reduce the impact to our community when mining does come down.
It does have rail links. It is exactly in the right position because of its resource-based economy to supply the defense industry, everything from critical minerals to obviously to nickel and other sort of important metals and current. So that's why it makes sense.
Darby points to a new partnership forged between Sault Ste. Marie's Algo Steel and Rochelle as a perfect example of how communities in Northern Ontario are on the radar of these companies. But he adds there's work to be done.
You need to have streamlined regulations, lowering red tape. This is something that, we talk about constantly. That's the first part. The second one is can we hire?
We're open for business. We've been unlocking properties and looking to make investments into increasing more commercial space. We've done everything from, reducing DC charges to make the city more affordable to build a home. And
what more Sudbury can do, Peta, is hopeful staff can answer that in a report if his motion is adopted by council. That vote is slated Tuesday night. A 36-year-old North Bay man is facing animal cruelty charges after 4 kittens were found dead. Police say the animals were found at a home on Castle Street yesterday. The suspect was identified and arrested at a nearby residence. A disturbing trend over the past few weeks. 3 pigeons have been taken for medical attention covered in used cooking oil, which appears to have been poured over the birds. CTV's Elena Everson reports.
This bird was found downtown by a passerby on Durham Street, covered in what wildlife custodians say appears to be used cooking oil. It's one of 3 pigeons found like this over the past 2 weeks.
It was totally oiled from head to toe. It couldn't open its eyes. Its eyes were really inflamed and red. His skin was also reddened, and it was almost dead when it was brought in.
5 days later, a 3rd pigeon was found again, downtown at the corner of Cedar and Durham.
It's very perplexing. We've never had this sort of presentation, and then to have 3 of them in, a 2-week period. So we suspect that there may be someone that's pouring oil over these birds.
Turtle Pond says the pigeons are bathed regularly to help dissolve the oil from their feathers.
If there is someone doing this, we plead with them to please stop, because you're just causing a lot of suffering to these animals for no reason.
The center is caring for the pigeons during one of its busiest times of the year. Every spring, it takes in hundreds of orphaned wildlife after adults are trapped and disposed of or relocated.
Just to watch, because there could be babies. That's usually why they're there this time of year. And there's ways you can get the mom to move on without trapping her and locating her to another area, which likely she won't survive anyway.
Wildlife custodians at the center expect the pigeons will make a full recovery and then be released. Alana Everson, CTV News, Valcarin.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Amanda will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions, and we are hovering around the 0 mark. Most of us seeing a little bit of flurry or sleet action in Timmins Shores, as well as Wawa and Chapleau, -3 in Kapuskasing, 1 degree in Parry Sound. Details after the break.
Happy Friday, everyone. We made it to the weekend, and we do have a bit of sunshine on the way for your Saturday. If you're looking to head out and about this weekend, Saturday is going to be the day to do it. Meanwhile, though, by the time Sunday rolls around, that's when we've got that low pressure system that's moving through the region, bringing precipitation. And there's going to be some rain over the next week or so. That's for sure, some gray skies. So if you're seeing some sunshine over the next couple days, you're definitely going to want to get out and enjoy it. 7-day forecast starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt. So we've got a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. High of 7 degrees, seasonal for this time of year, a rain-snow mix. For Sunday, high of 9, double digits on Monday, chance of sleet, and then a chance of rain on Tuesday. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow, high of 8, periods of rain. On Sunday, 1 degree warmer, high of 9. By Monday, double digits, chance of rain, and then a stronger chance of rain on Tuesday. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, cloudy skies for tomorrow, high of 6, holding on to that temperature for Sunday with a chance of sleet, high of 7. On Monday, cloudy skies, chance of snow. On Tuesday, temperatures dropping back down to 1 degree there, still in those wintry conditions, and then a chance of showers on Wednesday. For Timmins Shores, Kirkland Lake, mainly cloudy skies for tomorrow, high of 7 on Sunday, chance of sleet, 11 degrees. On Monday, a lot warmer, that's for sure, above normal for this time of year, chance of sleet on Tuesday, and a chance of showers on Wednesday. Finally, for North Bay, West Nipissing, a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow, high of 7, 9 degrees on Sunday with a rain-snow mix, a chance of rain. On Monday, warmer conditions rolling through the region. Cloudy skies on Tuesday, high of +8. And then by the time Wednesday rolls around, seeing more rain on the way, chance of showers, high of 10 degrees. But we are starting to see more daylight, that's for sure. Seeing 13 hours of daylight. Temperatures are getting warmer, so we are getting a little bit closer to those warmer conditions. So, Ian, we've got a little bit of everything on the way. We've got sun, we've got rain, bit of snow. It is what it is. Back to you.
Hopefully not a lot of snow. Thanks, Amanda. Several communities are raising the alert or the flood outlook, including Sudbury this weekend. In Sudbury, residents at risk of flooding are being told they can find sand and sandbags at the city's 5 public works depots. Conservation Sudbury says water levels within most systems are currently at the high end of typical season ranges after recent rainfall and snow melt. Well, there's a significant amount of snowpack left in Kirkland Lake. The town, which also in recent years saw some flooding, says public works crews are working to clear catch basins and open culvert ends to promote water flow. The province is putting forward legislation to reduce how long prospective teachers are in school. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more on the proposed changes.
Media. Ontario's teacher crunch is tightening, with more educators leaving and waves of increased immigration in recent years. So the government's making changes designed to get more teachers into classrooms and faster.
We would shorten teacher education from 2 years and 4 semesters to 1 year, delivered in 3 consecutive semesters.
The province also wants new teaching candidates to get more than the 80 days of practical experience they do now.
So that they're in front of the class and they know what to expect when they get there, so that they can manage a classroom.
There will be higher pay for mentor teachers who take on novices, and looking at ways to add people who already have experience with kids.
For example, those with early childhood education backgrounds or those with work youth experience. By recognizing prior learning, we're attracting the best and the brightest to join the teaching profession.
This only opens the front door, and right now teachers are walking out the back.
The Ontario Teachers Federation estimates 48,000 registered teachers are choosing not to work in the sector. Many leave the profession within 5 years.
We know the reasons they're not in the classroom is because of the working conditions, which are directly related to the learning conditions of the students that are in front of us.
Conditions that education union leaders call unsustainable.
We're talking about larger class sizes, unmet student needs in terms of supports that just aren't there.
And violence between students and against teachers. The Minister of Education believes more practicum time will help with that.
The ministry will also be looking at its program, the new teacher induction program, and looking at how we can better support new teachers as well.
All of these measures are part of a bill that will be tabled on Monday. Also in there, the long-awaited changes to school board governance, including whether or not trustees are sticking around. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli announced more than $2.5 million today to support economic development in the riding. Almost $900,000 will go to Core Explore Drilling Services Corporation and Calendar. 7 other organizations, including Nipissing University and the Capital Center, are also receiving money. CTV News will have a federal by-election special on Monday, April 13th. It'll begin at 7 p.m. and will be hosted by CTV's chief news anchor and senior editor Omar Sachedina and chief political correspondent Vashi Kapelos. The special will air and live stream on CTV News channel, ctvnews.ca, and Crave. A heads up to drivers traveling through the Timmins area. Late tonight, the city posting to its social media that starting immediately, the speed limit on Municipal Road is being lowered from 80 kilometers an hour down to 50. Officials say it's due to the condition of asphalt, and it's a temporary reduction from Highway 101 east to the city limit, affecting 9 kilometers of road. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Our 2 Northern OHL teams left in the playoff race face tough bouts tonight in OHL playoff action. We'll head to Kitchener after this. It was a tough night for Northern Ontario hockey fans, both North Bay and the Sioux on the road tonight. Let's start with the Greyhounds, who managed to get within one of the Rangers.
cross creek, has it for Sault Ste. Marie. They try to spring McKenzie. Here's the speedy McKenzie. Here's McKenzie, shot, scores!
Quinn McKenzie on the rush in game 1 of their best of 7 against the Kitchener Rangers, but that would be all she wrote. Kitchener sealing the deal with an empty netter at the end. The Greyhounds fall to the Rangers 3-1 tonight, but all is not lost. Game 2 takes place down in Kitchener Sunday night at 7. Meanwhile, over in Brantford, the Battalion having a tough go against a powerhouse Bulldogs. Brantford would open the scoring with 4 unanswered goals until Adrian Manzo would find the back of the net. That would be it. North Bay heading home with a 4-1 loss. They now trail 2-0. Game 3 is Sunday afternoon at the Bort Longyear Memorial Gardens. If you're a girl dad, you may know that styling long hair can be tricky. Now, an event in Ottawa is looking to change that by giving some dads a new skill for their daughters. CTV's Sean Varden has more on the Braids and Beers event.
Martin Savard's at a pop-up beauty school in a bar. He spent a lot of time brushing his daughter Amelia's hair, but now that she's 5, styling's become important. The Braids and Beers workshop, here to help.
She asked me to do hairstyles. She's like, do this one from I don't know, whatever TV show or movie shows. I'm like, I can't do that. I can do braids. That's all I got. So maybe I can do one more style after tonight. That'd be a success.
8 stylists from the Wild and Free Hair Boutique teaching 30 dads about hair care. Brushing and braiding on the menu tonight, along with a few cold ones at the Three's Company Snack Bar on Bank Street.
Some have never touched hair before. I think some are maybe looking to take the load off of mom a bit at home. Maybe just wanted to learn to do some braids so they can have that bonding moment with their daughters. But yeah, I think they're enjoying it so far. And if some of them come out knowing how to braid, that's a win.
Posted on my own Facebook and said, hey, I want to organize an event like this, Braids and Beers. And have a bunch of dads come out and learn how to do hairstyling for their daughters. And the response within a day was crazy.
Doug Baker came so his 10-year-old daughter won't miss out on those quiet moments of connection. His wife passed away from brain cancer 5 years ago.
It's important for me to take care of some of those maybe more typically mom things that, some people might think are more mom things. So for me, I want to make sure that I can do some of the things. Right now I'm just working on sort of a regular braid, which is good. And then after that, I'll work on doing a French braid, which I think will look very cute on her.
A diverse crowd, some dads here getting a head start with the years of practice ahead of them.
Mine doesn't even have hair yet, but I'm just trying to be a little bit preemptive. I think it's great to see everybody out here having a great time, having a few beers, hanging out, and challenging ourselves to something that's not, it's not second nature like the mums.
Organizers say because of the success, they will be planning more nights for dads to bond over the love they have for their daughters.
And my daughter asked me about it too. She's like, are you going to learn how to do different hairstyles tonight? And I'm like, yep.
Sean Varden, CTV News.
Northern Ontario Expo is hosting its annual TimminsCon event this weekend at the McIntyre Community Centre, and there will be some big-name celebrities to rub shoulders with. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
It's the day before the 15th annual TimminsCon, and the McIntyre Community Centre is under transformation. More than 80 exhibitors are setting up for 2 days of cosplay, vendors, and stars like Lou Ferrigno and Erica Durance. Organizers say this is their biggest celebration yet of all things fandom.
Yeah, I grew up reading comic books. If you walk downstairs in my man cave, it's all superheroes and, sports pictures and autograph pictures and collectibles. So it's been with me since I've been very, very young. And living in Timmins all my life, I was one of those people saying there's never anything to do in Timmins. So I decided to try and do something about it. And here we are, 15 years later, hosting an event that I'm very proud to be associated with.
Northern Ontario Expo is a non-profit organization run by a board, and it amasses numerous volunteers, including family, to help make it a success.
My in-laws are heavily involved, friends, aunt and uncles, they come and help out, Fran's brother, my kids.
Dennis says TimminsCon now draws close to 5,000 people a year. It also caught the attention of the Municipal Accommodations Tax Committee, contributing $55,000 to help the event flourish.
And it has an economic drive of almost $80,000 to the community. So this is a big event for us,
and for the community as a whole, and definitely for Timmins Expo. I think there's such an opportunity there for it to continue to grow.
Exhibitors say the event is worth the drive and has become a favorite pop culture convention.
And we've been doing this for a number of years, probably about 10 years for these items, but we change our stuff pretty much every year. So next year when we come, will be another new product. This year it's the lightsabers, and next year we'll have RC products.
Well, this one here is like a whack-a-mole, and I have another one that's a little mini high striker. It's got a mushroom that the kids hit.
And how cool is this? Anyone who comes to TimminsCon this weekend can also have a seat in Fred Flintstone's iconic vehicle and take their pictures for free. Yabba dabba doo. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Very cool. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Friday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Monday. Thanks for watching. Good night.